I'm John, 28 years old, and I want to share the story of my relationship with Emily, who is 27. Our story seemed like it was straight out of a fairy tale. We met in high school and have been there for each other during crucial moments. Our relationship started intermittently, but over the last 5 years, we became inseparable. Together, we faced life's ups and downs, creating memories that seemed solid enough to last forever. If you like following stories, reports, and surprising revelations seen on Reddit, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. I clearly remember our first date. It was at the high school prom. Emily looked stunning in her blue dress, and I, nervous, wore a rented tuxedo. We danced the night away, laughing and sharing dreams for the future. This moment marked the beginning of a deep and meaningful connection. In the following years, we were side by side at various important occasions. When Emily lost her grandmother, I was her rock, consoling her and helping her through the pain. Similarly, when I faced difficulties at work, Emily was by my side, offering unconditional support and words of encouragement. These experiences strengthened our bond, creating a foundation of trust and love. Our relationship was marked by moments of pure joy. We remembered spontaneous trips to the beach, nights cooking together and laughing at our culinary disasters, and long conversations under the stars. I was deeply in love with Emily. I imagined a bright future by her side, filled with laughter, children, and a cozy home where we could grow old together. One of the most memorable moments was our 5-year anniversary. I planned a surprise dinner at a romantic restaurant, followed by a walk by the lake where we first met. With my heart racing, I got down on one knee and asked Emily to marry me, giving her a ring I had carefully chosen. Emily said yes with tears in her eyes, and at that moment, it seemed like nothing could tear us apart. However, life doesn't always follow the plans we make. As we near the wedding preparations, a new phase began in Emily's life when she started working at a renowned beauty salon. Initially, it seemed like a wonderful opportunity, but soon things began to change unexpectedly. Our conversations about the future, once filled with excitement, began to be replaced by worries and insecurities. The shared dreams of a life together started to feel distant and uncertain. But what exactly shook this seemingly perfect couple? As the days passed, Emily's new routine brought unexpected challenges. But what could have caused such a strong and promising relationship to fall apart? Keep reading to discover how changes in Emily's work environment began to create cracks in the foundation of our relationship. Chapter 2: Problems at Work. Emily's new job at the salon was met with enthusiasm by both of us. She was excited about the new opportunities, and I was proud of her achievements. However, it didn't take long for challenges to arise. The salon's environment was competitive, and conversations among colleagues often took a critical and judgmental tone. Emily was constantly bombarded with negative comments about me. "He's not good enough for you," they said. "You could find someone much better." Initially, Emily tried to ignore these comments, but her colleagues' words began to infiltrate her mind, planting seeds of doubt. At first, Emily mentioned these criticisms to me lightly, assuring me that she didn't give them any importance. "My colleagues are just jealous," she said, trying to laugh off the situation. But as the comments persisted, doubt began to take deeper root. Emily started to question whether I was really the ideal partner for her. Arguments that were previously non-existent began to emerge. Emily became more irritated and insecure, while I tried to understand what was happening. "You've changed," I said one night, trying to start a conversation about what was going on. Emily dodged, saying she was just tired from work. The moments of joy and connection began to dwindle. Our conversations, once full of dreams and plans, turned into arguments over small things, and the laughter we shared was replaced by awkward silences. I wondered if I could bring back the happiness we once had. The influence of Emily's colleagues at the salon was becoming increasingly evident. Emily, once confident and secure in our relationship, now found herself engulfed in a whirlwind of emotions and insecurities. Still in love, I struggled to understand and combat the invisible forces shaking the foundation of our relationship. What will happen next? How will Emily's insecurities culminate in a sudden breakup? And what will be my reaction to this unexpected situation? Keep reading to discover the decisive moments of this relationship, where love will be tested in ways we never imagined. Chapter 3: The Sudden Breakup. The night began like any other. Emily and I went out for a pleasant date, trying to rekindle the spark that seemed to have faded. We went to a cozy restaurant, reminiscing about the old times when we talked about everything and nothing, laughing at the little things. The atmosphere was light, and for a brief moment, I thought things were finally getting back to normal. After dinner, we walked through the park, enjoying the gentle night breeze. I held Emily's hand, feeling a familiar comfort. However, as we reached a secluded bench, Emily stopped, and I noticed something was different. There was a tension in the air, something I couldn't immediately identify. "John, we need to talk," Emily began, her voice trembling slightly. I felt a chill run down my spine, sensing something bad was coming. Emily took a deep breath, avoiding looking directly into my eyes. "I've been thinking a lot about us, about our relationship," she continued, choosing her words carefully. Confused, I tried to understand what she was trying to say. "Emily, what's going on? What do you mean?" I asked, trying to stay calm. Emily hesitated for a moment before continuing. "My colleagues at work have been saying things about you, about us. They say you're not good enough for me, that I could find someone better." And I started to wonder if they were right, she confessed, tears in her eyes. Emily's confession was a devastating blow. I felt as if the ground had been pulled out from under me. I always knew that Emily's colleagues made malicious comments, but I never imagined it could lead to this. "Emily, how can you listen to them? After everything we've been through?" I asked, my voice choked with emotion. "I don't know, John. I'm just confused. I need time to think," she replied, looking down. I remained silent for a moment, trying to process the information. The pain and confusion were overwhelming. "So, you're breaking up with me because of what your colleagues say?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Emily nodded, tears rolling down her face. "I'm so sorry, John, but I need to understand what I really want," she said, her voice filled with sadness. Not knowing what to say, I stood up and walked away slowly. I couldn't believe I was losing the woman I loved because of external influences. The walk back home was a blur of emotions. The pain of losing Emily was overwhelming, and I felt powerless in the face of the situation. Less than 4 hours later, my phone began to ring incessantly. It was Emily. I ignored the first call, still too hurt to talk. But Emily didn't give up. The messages started coming in, one after another, begging for a chance to talk. "John, please answer. I made a terrible mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. Please give me a chance to explain," said one of the messages. I looked at the phone, my heart torn between the love I still felt for Emily and the pain of her words. I decided not to respond immediately. I needed time to reflect on everything that had happened. Meanwhile, Emily continued to send messages, increasingly desperate. Deep down, I knew I couldn't ignore Emily forever. But how could I get past what had been said? How could I trust again? How will our story unfold from here? Will Emily manage to convince me that it was a mistake to listen to her colleagues? Will I be able to forgive Emily and rebuild trust? Keep following to discover the intense and emotional journey of this couple, where every decision can forever change the course of our lives. Chapter 4. Plea for Reconciliation. Emily's anguish grew with every minute without a response from me. She knew she had made a terrible mistake by letting her colleagues' opinions influence her judgment. Sitting alone in her room, eyes fixed on the phone, she sent messages and called incessantly, hoping I would answer. "John, please, we need to talk. I made a mistake. I love you. Please answer me." I, on the other hand, was in my apartment, lights off, reflecting on the sudden turn my life had taken in a matter of hours. The phone vibrated continuously, but I didn't have the strength to answer. I needed time to think, to process everything Emily had said, and to decide what to do next. Her words, influenced by her colleagues, still echoed in my mind, leaving a dull pain in my chest. Emily didn't give up. She called my friends, begging them to talk to me. "Tell him I'm very sorry, that I wasn't thinking straight," she pleaded over the phone. Her voice trembled with desperation and regret. My friends, aware of the situation, tried to help but knew I needed space to process my feelings. Meanwhile, Emily's family was also aware of the situation. Her parents, who always liked me, tried to comfort her, but also scolded their daughter for her imprudence. "Emily, you can't let others' opinions destroy what you and John have built," said her mother, with a concerned look. Emily nodded, knowing that her actions had caused me deep pain. Feeling the weight of it all, I decided I needed a break. Stepping away from the messages and calls, I turned off the phone to have a moment of peace. During this time, I walked through the city, trying to find clarity amid the emotional chaos surrounding me. Memories of happy moments with Emily flooded my mind, but the pain of the broken trust was ever present. When I finally returned home, I found a note under the door. It was from Emily. "John, I love you more than anything in this world. I know I made a terrible mistake, and I'm willing to do anything to fix it. Please give me a chance to explain and show that I can change. With love, Emily." I sat on the couch, holding the note as tears streamed down my face. I still loved her deeply, but the fear of being hurt again paralyzed me. I knew I needed to make a decision, but I wasn't ready for it. I needed more time to understand my own feelings. The next day, I finally decided to meet Emily for a conversation. I needed to hear her explanations in person, without intermediaries. When I arrived at Emily's house, she greeted me with red, puffy eyes from crying so much. "John, I'm so sorry. I was weak and let my colleagues' words influence me. I should never have doubted us," she began, her voice choked with emotion. I listened in silence, letting her pour her heart out. "Emily, I still love you, but that doesn't erase what happened. I need time to think about all this. I can't just forget what you said," I replied with a painful calm. Emily nodded, understanding the need for time. "I only ask for a chance to prove that I can change, that I really love you and can be the partner you deserve," she said sincerely. I thought for a moment before responding. "Let's take some time, Emily. 3 months without communication to reflect on what we really want. We need this space to understand our feelings and decide what's best for us," I said. Emily reluctantly agreed, knowing that this time would be crucial for both of us. As we said goodbye, a mix of hope and uncertainty hung in the air. "I will prove to you that I am worthy of your love, John," Emily said as I walked away. During the next 3 months, we both faced an emotional roller coaster. I dedicated myself to reflecting on a relationship, talking to friends and family, seeking advice, and trying to understand my own feelings. Emily, in turn, did deep introspection, realizing how her insecurities and negative influences from her colleagues led her to make rash decisions. How will this break affect our relationship? Will Emily manage to convince me that it was a mistake to listen to her colleagues? Will I be able to forgive Emily and rebuild trust? Keep following to discover how the story of love and redemption will unfold, where each choice can change the course of our lives forever. Chapter 5. Support from Friends and Family. My silence worried my friends and family. They began calling me, concerned about my well-being. When I didn't respond, my parents, fearing the worst, called the police for a welfare check. Fortunately, I was physically fine, but emotionally devastated. To try to resolve the situation, I went to Emily's parent house. They gathered to discuss the situation, and Emily, in tears, apologized again. "I was foolish and impressionable," she confessed. "However, I expressed my deep pain. What hurt me the most was that you listened to the criticisms and didn't trust our love," I said, my voice choked with emotion. The tension between Emily and me hasn't ended yet. What will I decide to do next? Stay tuned to find out my crucial decision. Chapter 6. Reflection and Space. I decided I needed time to think. I asked Emily for at least 3 months without communication for both of us to reflect on our relationship and future. "We need this time to understand what we really want," I said in a serious tone. During these 3 months, many shared friends sided with me, while Emily faced the anger of her own family and friends. They blamed her for letting external influences destroy such a beautiful relationship. 3 months of silence can change everything. Will the time apart strengthen or destroy our bond? Find out what happens in the next chapter. Chapter 7. New Health Challenge. During the separation, I began to experience severe headaches and dizziness. After several tests, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. The news was devastating. Emily, upon learning of the diagnosis, rushed to offer her support. She and her family offered unconditional help, and after much reflection, I agreed to move into their home to recover after surgery. Emily promised to take care of me and be by my side every step of the way. I was about to face the biggest challenge of my life, and Emily's presence brought unexpected comfort. I am facing a new health challenge. Will the surgery be successful? And how will it affect our relationship? Don't miss the next chapter. Chapter 8. Surgery and Recovery. The surgery was long, lasting 8.5 hours. Emily constantly updated friends and family about my condition, showing her commitment and love for me. When the doctor finally came out of the operating room, he announced that the procedure was successful, but recovery would be long and difficult. During the recovery period, Emily reflected deeply on her mistakes. "I should never have let others influence my feelings for you," she confessed, while holding my hand. She committed to proving her love and dedication every day. If you like this story and don't want to miss any of Reddit's next amazing stories, subscribe below and turn on notifications. Here every week you will discover hidden stories from Reddit.